Okay, well, new air comrades on. As you can see, nice and shiny. All 10 mils and 17 mils. So 17 mils on the pipes, 10 mils to unbolt the fan, 10 mils to unbolt the rad at the top and the bottom. So that's done. The new stainless exhaust is on. So it's got a much smaller centre box, much smaller silencers with downswept pipes. So I'd imagine it's going to be a little bit noisier. So that's it, I think. I think we're ready for the body to come back down. Oh, I've had the brake pipes made as well. One's over here. I was going to fit them first and then I remembered you can't. So they're going to have to be fitted afterwards. But I think we are good to go. So the plan is to get this as close as possible and start lowering the body down. I'll get the front on some dollies like I have the rear, so now I can slide it backwards and forwards and side to side. So here goes. And touchdown. There it is. It's on. I've put the ramp back under the chassis so I can lift the whole lot up and undo up all the bolts underneath, tighten up the body mounts and the body mount bushes and gearbox wiring, etc, etc. So that was fairly simple, didn't have any issues. All the steering arms back in. You have to put that in as you go down. So yeah. So now, as I say, lift it up, do everything up, put everything back together. Job's a good one. Hopefully we won't have any more problems, but I'll come back in as I start doing bits up. Right, and when I took it apart, I noticed that obviously that wire on the temp sensor had snapped. So I've managed to get another plug off a spare loom I've got. So I'm just going to rewire it now and then that should be fixed. And I'm just working through the list of bits to do to put it back together. So I'll come back in a second. Right, so a bit of an update. Right, rad deflectors are back in. Air cons all back in and connected up. Throttle cables, clutch cables. Sorry. Cruise control cables, fuel pipes, matrix pipes, wiring. I've just got to pop this out and put this back underneath. Fuse box needs bolting down. All the plugs and pipes are back on the header tank. The steering knuckle is in but loose because I just want that to sit and move about a bit, sit in the right place before I bolt it up. AAS is all back in. Front ABS sensors are back on. Got to do the rears when it goes in the air, and the brake pipes have all got to be done when it goes in the air, and a few other bits and pieces. So we are getting there. Soon be start up, I hope. Right, well, everything's pretty much done. I've got to just finish off this brake pipe up here. I think I'm going to have to remove the wheel arch liner just to nip that up. So we'll do that. But front brake lines are all in. ABS sensors are all on. Everything's plugged in. I've just got to put that air pipe back on and the top of the airbox. Put the rad front, the slam panel on, the bumpers, and I think we're good to go. Obviously just got to plug in the looms and stuff and the centre console when it comes down, but yeah, it's pretty much done. So I will probably put that air pipe and the airbox back on, sort the wires on the inside, and then before bleeding the brakes and all that malarkey, I'll probably try and fire her up. So I'll cut back in shortly. Right, well, everything's done. Gearbox, looms all plugged in, handbrakes all done, airbox, induction pipes all back on, everything's plugged in. We're ready for a start. Now the battery that was on it was completely dead. It only had 2 volts in it. I've been charging it all day, taking it off charge, and it's showing 12.5. So because when you take the battery off of a P38, the immobiliser locks you out for the first half an hour for you to then input the EKA code. So I will leave the battery tonight. I will see what it drops down to in the morning. Should it be too low in the morning and it is completely dead, then I'll have to try and find another battery to put on it. Otherwise, I will stick the battery on in the morning and fire her up. I'm not going to bother putting the bumpers on yet. I'll just try and see if it'll run in the morning. Obviously, in the event the battery's dead and we haven't got another one, then yeah, I'll get the batteries, the bumpers all fitted up so it's ready. But I just wanted to get it to start just to make sure there was no issues. So I will come back in the morning and we'll go from there. I think this is the end of, because I've had a bit of a break in between, I think this is the end of day 4, so not too bad. Hopefully by the end of day 5 she'll be running and driving. In fact, probably late if the battery's all right, first thing in the morning, but we'll see. I'll come back to you shortly. Right, well, it's the next morning, so let's see what our battery has. As I turn it on to volts, don't know if I better do this single-handed or not, but we shall see. Right, let's have a look. What's it held overnight? Ooh, I reckon we can work with that. Right, I will stick it back on the car and see if we need to input the EKA code. Well, we will need to input the EKA code, but see whether we need to wait half an hour, whether it'll let us do it straight away. So I'll do that now. Right, battery is on, the key is in. What's the dash going to say? Low screen wash, that's fine. Right, so I think we're going to need the air suspension kicker. But no key fault. Let's see what happens when we turn the key. Nothing. Oh. Oh. Okay, so going to need to put some jump leads on it and see what happens. I will come back. Right, got the trusty Defender plugged in. Let's see whether she starts. Yes, she does. Wow. Sounds perfect. Got to be chuffed with that. Still says slow on the dashboard, but we need to put the kicker on it for that, I think. But other than that, result. Right, well, I kind of missed a day of filming yesterday because we had quite a lot to do. Brian come over and gave me a hand very kindly. He borrowed my suspension kicker OBD plug, which I needed to plug into this to kick the suspension into life. So we done that. We got it running. It ran out of fuel. Had to go and get some fuel. Put that in. Got it running. Got the suspension kicker in. And it brought up more faults, which the kicker's supposed to cancel them out and start again. Well, it found more faults. So I thought, well, what's wrong with it? What have I done? Then I remembered. There's the list of all the bits that I had to remember to put back on. And you can see I ticked off height sensors. Yeah, I did the rear ones, didn't do the fronts. So I plugged the front and height sensors in, bang, it started working. Only problem was, we didn't have it running long enough to fill the tank up and pump the bags up. So today, I'm going to fire it up, leave it running outside. I'm just going to put it up in the air first, just to have another little look underneath, make sure there's nothing I've missed. Take it off the ramp, get it outside, leave it running for a while, get some air in the tank. Hopefully the bags will go up, because that, I'm still not sure whether that works yet. But while it was running for the short time yesterday, you probably won't see now, but the stain on the floor. We had a water leak. Now, why is water leaking down there? It was basically started at the rear, in front of the rear wheel, and then obviously ran all down here. Turns out, I think the heater matrix has popped because it was pouring, and as you can see, the floor is all wet. Now that's pretty much a dash out job. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to take off the matrix pipe like I did before and take this one off and bridge it. So put that pipe straight to there so it completes the circuit without going through the matrix. And then hopefully we won't have any leaks from there. Header tank's gone down there, so you can see it's lost quite a bit. So then we'll run it up, see if we can get some air in the tank, get the suspension up, and then we can work out what to do from there. Now, brake bleeding is a long, laborious two-man job. I didn't film it, but I will insert the a link to the video here. Of this man whose video I watched just to remind myself. It's been a while since I've done it. Yeah, there's quite a procedure to go through. So have a watch of that video. That will tell you what to do if you need to bleed the brakes. Obviously, it took a lot longer on this because it's all been apart. There was no fluid in the system, so it took quite a while to sort it out. So, right, I'll sort them pipes out and get it running and outside. Right, well, she's outside. We've bypassed the matrix for now. Just letting it run to see whether the air suspension pumps up. Obviously, I've got a lot of putting back together in here, but if the matrix has got to come out, then the dash has to come out. So there's not much point in putting it back together just yet. I'll see what the owner wants to do. I'm not sure if I fancy the job, but I'll have a little look on the internet and see. It can't be that difficult. So yeah. So I found a pipe in my stores, so I've just gone from there straight to there, bypass the matrix. So hopefully that will do the job. So just letting the air suspension compressor fill up, hence why the doors are open. And then once the compressor kicks off, because it's got enough pressure in the tank, we'll shut the door and hopefully it will go up. So I'll come back. Right, so for now, this is the end of the video on the P38. It's come to a bit of a sad conclusion, really. Obviously, it's as far along as it can be. It's running, it's driving, everything's done except the interior. Obviously, I haven't put the interior back together because the matrix needs replacing. So, I organised the final bill for this job because obviously if the owner wanted me to do the matrix, then that would be technically another job. So I finished the bill off and gave the bill to the owner. Didn't take it too well, unfortunately. Now, I don't really talk about money too much on this channel, but if you look around a similar job, you're looking at between sort of 1,500 quid and 2 grand, maybe more. Now, as mates rates, I've done it at £20 an hour. Now, that's nothing. When you ask around locally, I've seen there's other guys here who do private work for £30, £35 an hour. Garages are £50, £60 an hour. So £20 an hour I thought was proper mates rates. Unfortunately, the customer wasn't too keen on that and did offer me quite a bit less. So at the moment, it's staying here until this is resolved. I hope it doesn't conclude our friendship, but I can't do it any cheaper. I've got tools, I've got overheads, I've got to pay my way. So it come in at 45 hours at £20 an hour, £900. So it's technically half what it would normally cost. I mean, we've done each other favours in the past, I get that. They've done me favours, I've done them plenty of favours as well. So, you know, it's a difficult one when you work with friends. I tried to keep it as cheap as I can, but I can't do it any less. So, at the moment, it's sitting here waiting for a resolve. I don't know what that's going to be. Yeah, it's just a sorry, sad situation, but it's upset me a little bit. It's a few days ago, so I've left it for a while to such, and decide what happens now. So yeah, so for now it's going to sit here until a resolve happens one way or the other. So I'll let you know in the future what happens. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share. If anyone needs a chassis changing in the East Anglia region, by all means give us a shout. It ain't going to be £20 an hour, put it that way. It'll be more. This was literally mates rates. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share. See you very soon in another video. Cheers.